Hi everybody, welcome to a new video in Microsoft Excel. A chart is one of the important features in Excel. Actually, it will give you insight in a while. The long list of numbers or the long list of data couldn't give you insights. It's very hard to track. But if you can convert this long list of data into a visualization, you can spot the change and the insights in a while. And this is actually what a chart can do. And in Excel, creating a chart is very, very easy. We have a bunch of chart types that you can choose from depending on your data and how you want to display your data as a visualization. Let's create a chart. First, we need to understand this data. This is a sample sales data, product ID, product name, the sales, the quantity sold, discount, and the profit. If I need to get insights of sales and the profit of every product by product ID, what you need to do is to select the columns or the data that you want to build the chart on them. I need to use the product ID. I just select the column of data, and I need to see every product ID with its sales and the profit. I need also to select the sales and profit. If you remember, we learned before how to select contiguous and non-contiguous cells. And to do that, we need to hold Control if you are using Windows, but if you are using a Mac, you will need to hold the Command button while selecting the column or the data that you want. Now I selected the columns that I want to build a chart on. The next step is to tell Excel that I need to show this data as a chart, as a visualization. To grab a chart, this is something you insert inside the sheet. So you'll find it into Insert tab. From Insert tab, there is a group called the Charts. It have bunch of chart types. As you can see, line chart, histogram, column chart, bar chart. You have many options you can choose from. And every option, if you open the drop-down menu, you can see more options related to this type. Also, we have recommended charts, which will give you some highly recommended charts by Excel for your data. I will choose column chart, and you may see that there are 2D column and 3D. Some categories of chart has 2D and 3D. And you have some. Once I point to any of these charts, I will get a preview. You can see it behind. If I see something which is okay for me, that works with me, I will just click it and that's it. Or you can simply see more options from here, from this tiny arrow. This will open the Insert Chart dialog box with two tabs. The first tab is the recommended chart, will give you recommendations for your data or all the charts, where the charts are displayed into categories, and every category has different options. I will stick to the default option, column, the cluster, the column, and then okay. And now I have a chart. From the chart, I can see how the profit works with the sales for every product ID. You can see here the product ID on the x-axis, the amount on the y-axis, and also you can see the sales is represented in blue. There is a legend, and the profit is represented is in red. You can easily see that this product has a loss, and also this product. You can see and spot which product has the highest sales and which product has the highest profits. This chart now is like an interactive photo. So you can, for example, increase its size. You can click on the chart area and move it. And also when you select the chart, you will see two new tabs, Chart Design and Format. And of course, these new tabs are to work specifically on the chart. You can easily find what you need in these two tabs. For example, in the chart design, you will find everything related to the chart design. We have chart styles. This is like a theme for the chart. If you like, once I point to any design, I can see it as a preview in my chart. You can choose whatever you like. From a chart design, also you can change the chart type. If you choose, for example, column chart, and you need to change this type into, for example, pie chart or bar chart, scattered plot, whatever you need, you can choose change type, and you will get the same chart type prompt again. From here, you can choose the chart that you want. I will choose line chart, for example, and then OK. Now the chart is changed into lines. The blue line is the sales and the red line is the profit. I will change it again to column chart and then OK. The chart has several components. This is a chart title. You can select and write your title if you like. Once you write the title, you can select it, and from home you can change the font formatting. The whole area of the chart is called the chart area. Every other part has a name. This is called plot area because this is the actual area of plot. This is the y-axis labels, and this is the x-axis label, and this is a legend. You can control everything. You can adjust everything to your needs, and you can adjust its format. For example, from chart design, here you have add a chart element. We have some elements, for example, axes, like the primary horizontal axis and the primary vertical to show or hide them. If it is activated, it means this element exists. You can click it one more time to hide the element. So now we have both the primary horizontal axis, which is x-axis, and the primary vertical axis, which is y-axis. I can choose to hide the x-axis, primary horizontal, and you can see now I lost the labels of the x-axis. I can simply return them back from add a chart element, chart design, and then I will go back to axis and choose primary horizontal. Axis titles. If you need to add an axis title, a title for the horizontal or the vertical axis, you can choose one of them or both of them, or you can hide one of them or both of them. Now they don't exist, so we can choose, for example, primary horizontal title. Now I have axis title. I can also do the same as I did with the chart title. I added the title with product ID. It's simply a text box, so you can drag and drop it anywhere. Again, add a chart element. We have data labels. This will add labels to the chart. And you can choose none, which means no labels. This is the current case. We don't have labels for the data. Or you can choose to add labels. In this case, you will need to decide where you want to see the labels. Whether in the center, you can see in the center of the column. You need to select the chart back to get the two tabs. If you click outside the chart, you will lose the tabs. Again, I will go to add a chart element, data labels, and you can see you can add it inside the base. You can see the effect here in the preview, outside end, or you can choose none. Data table will display the data table underneath the chart. Now it's none, no data table. But you can choose to add data table, as you can see, with legend key. So here, if I choose legend key, you will see the data table with the legend key. This is sales and this is profit with the legend. The sales is blue and the profit is red. Or you can choose to add data table with no legend. Now you can see them, but there is no legend key. I don't need table, so I will choose none. We have also legend to display or hide the legend. Now we have our legend at the bottom. You can choose none to remove the legend. Or you can choose to add the legend anywhere to the right, to the top, left, or bottom. Let's add it to the top. Now we have the legend at the top. In short, the add chart element will allow you to display or hide different elements in the chart. We have also quick layout, which will give you options for quick layouts with different elements. So you can choose them at once. Instead of choosing every element individually, you can just choose the quick layout. Like this layout, for example, has a title, a chart title, and a legend to the right. This one has chart title, has data labels, and the legend at the top. Once you just point to the quick layout, you will see its preview on your chart. Colors to change the color theme of your chart. You can work on every part of the chart manually. For example, if I need to change the background of the chart area, so I will double click on the chart area. Now you get this pane, formatted chart area. The first option is the fill color. From here, you can choose the fill color, whether you need solid color gradient or pattern fill. So I will choose solid fill. And from here, you can choose the color of the background of this chart area. You can also select the plot area. This area is called the plot area. And now the title is changed into format plot area. So anything you will apply here will be applied to the plot area. I will choose solid fill. And from here, I will choose another fill color. You can also change the color of every series. The orange is a series, is the sales series, and the blue is the profit series. So we can just double click on it. Now we format data series. We can choose the color. You can choose whether solid color, gradient, fill, whatever you need. And from here, I will change the color. I want to change the other series. Double click on it. Now we are in format data series, but on the second series. And I will choose the solid fill and choose a different color. Every single part you can select and format this part, or you can choose a style as a full theme. This chart is very compacted. As you can see, the titles are overlapped. We can just expand it. Then we can take this title down and make it bigger. If we want to expand the columns, to change the width of the column, because they are very tiny, they are very thin, I would double click again on the columns on the series. Last time we choose the fill color. Now we will choose the series option, which is this. And from the series option, we can adjust the gap width, the gap between columns. We can decrease this gap. As you decrease the gap, the columns becomes wider. Then formatting is very easy. Just select the part that you want to format, double click it, and choose the format that you want. Or you can choose a chart style. The whole style will be changed. Or you can choose from colors, the color theme, to change the whole color theme. What if I want a separate sheet for the chart? The chart now is in the same sheet of the table. If I want to change it in another sheet, select the chart and then move the chart. Here you have different options. Object in, this is the current option. This is object in sheet sales. In the sales sheet, this is the current option. You can change it to another sheet in the same workbook, like sheet 1, for example, or you can choose to move it to a totally new sheet. New sheet will be only for the chart, and its name will be chart 1. Or you can change the name. Usually use names that are descriptive. And then OK. Now we have a totally new sheet with the name that I gave to it, sales versus profit chart. And in this sheet, we have only the chart. As you can see, chart is not that difficult. Once you select the data that you want to see as visualization and from insert, choose the chart, you will get the chart. And then if you just play with the options, you can change the chart format and the style. We still have more to say about the chart, so we'll continue in the next video. Thank you and see you in the next video.